Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to the SHEnanigans podcast, where we bring the human back to small business. And because we can have serious conversations anytime, SHEnanigans is happily supported by WCTV and their podcast studio here in Wadsworth, Ohio. Today's guest is the owner of Rooted Pelvic Wellness and a fantastic human who taught me that sometimes our senses become overloaded and we need to take a pause from the world, even if it's from our children. Please welcome my rooted buddy, Rachel.
Hi.
Hey, hey, let's chat away. Small towns, big dreams in the fray. Grab a seat, come on, stay. Community shines bright today.
Oh.
You have to do that again?
No, we don't have to do that again. In my head, I was just thinking of the intro that he made. So, icebreaker, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get into this.
I want in that.
It is very important that we break the ice on this conversation.
The iceberg?
Yes. So you open it up. I want you to pick a candy. The bowl, the dish is from my buddy Trudy. And the candy inside is from Sweets on High.
Okay.
So she picked the candy. You open it up. Let's break this ice. Let's do it. Whatever you pick, I have to do.
Whatever I pick, you have to do?
Correct.
Oh, I don't have to eat the candy?
On camera. Oh, yes.
Oh.
We're doing it together. It's a whole thing. I had scissors and,
Oh.
So
Oh,
I left the
my.
scissors.
Jelly strips it is.
Jelly strips? Are we going to be able to open them up?
I don't know.
There was
What else
supposed to
is
be a
in there?
hidden pair of scissors behind the salad bowl.
A hidden. Well,
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
Here, you can have that one.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm
You got to be awkward and open these on camera.
just like a cheese stick, right?
No, it's not working out that way.
Well, maybe we're not getting it open.
See, this is why it's an icebreaker. No, we got it. No, we got it. Okay.
Ain't no way.
Okay, America.
How do you...
Okay, Yvette. That was for Yvette.
I
She's
can't
a
get that
fan.
open. You're going to have to get mine open.
No, yeah, you got it. And then on 3.
I can't get it open.
You got it, girl.
Good
You
thing
gotta
I'm an OT with great fine motor skills.
So you got this.
No,
So
you're
breathe through it.
You have to open my...
You want me to put
Mom.
my mouth on your candy?
Yeah, I'll open it up more than that.
Okay. Let's trade.
Okay.
Okay.
Not recommended for children under 35 years old.
Really?
Okay. No.
All right.
Small bite-sized pieces. Cheers.
All right. Oh, my Lanta. It comes out like that? Wow. I didn't give myself enough of an opening. What is this called? These are at Sweets on High.
They're called jelly strips.
Jelly.
Oh, and now it's all over the tape. I deeply regret my decision.
Oh, okay. I'm really not a fan of Jell-O. Are you?
No.
Okay. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. All right.
Oh.
I'm not into that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's like you're...
It looks like the boy on the cover. Or, I mean, it tastes like the boy looks like on the cover.
I mean, it kind of... The flavor's nice. It's Concord grape.
Okay. Well,
I'd be happy not to have that again.
that's why it's an icebreaker. Now my hands are all sticky. Man, I really got to think this whole icebreaker thing out.
Well, I think that we'll just put it right there.
All right, you can get these from Lillian. She picked that out for me.
I bet my kids would love that, though.
Oh. We're going to act like I didn't just do this. Okay. Hi, friend.
Hi, I'm going to put your candy
Okay,
bowl
yeah.
back because it's going to drive me
Be the
crazy.
responsible one.
Kind of.
Trudy at Ruby Moon is letting me borrow that.
I love that.
It's off of her counter.
It's an iceberg breaker.
It is. Yeah. Okay, hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
I'm going to move my stuff.
Can't really complain.
Okay, so do you remember how we met?
Yeah, at a retreat.
How wild is that? Do you remember that the retreat was supposed to be in New York?
Yeah, we were going to travel to New York, and there was something that happened that made it come back to, where were we? Strongsville, Brecksville area?
Correct. But we didn't know we were going.
No.
And we didn't know we both lived in town.
And we've lived in town for a long time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there were other Wadsworthians
Yeah.
randomly at this random
Retreat. Yes.
Yeah. That's so crazy. And I don't remember when you and I clicked. Do you remember that?
No, somebody called you Jenny from the block, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna be friends.
Yeah. And for me, it was when you had generated this. I think it was the second day we were there, and you were sitting on the couch, and you had generated this. We had done these breakouts.
Yeah.
And then at some point we were having a cool down, and you generated this whole group of people surrounding you, and you were explaining to people how your senses can become overloaded. And that was the first time in my life I'd ever heard somebody like give me permission. Like, I just thought of Yvette, who I keep saying like. So anytime I say like, you make me eat this Jell-O thing.
All right. Cheers to that.
It was the first time in my life that anyone told me that, sensory overload.
Yeah.
That made complete sense to me.
Well, that's being an OT. That's one of the, and I didn't really know anything about it before I worked in the schools. I 5 senses moving forward, but there's so much more to that, and that you can become overwhelmed, and you need to figure out how to it's called flip your lid.
Yeah. And you gave me permission. No idea that everything I was doing was in response to being overloaded by dogs barking, kid asking questions, TV very loud. You were talking about all these things, and I was just so tuned into you. I was like, I want to be this girl's friend. And then, do you remember what you did after that? You were having a day or a moment or something, and you went upstairs with Rochelle.
Yeah, with Rochelle. Dr. Gunselman from Soul Purpose Wellness.
Correct. And
we did an unwinding.
I don't know what was happening. For me, it was kind of like a seance on the carpet. And I just was like, can I be involved? And you didn't care. And girl, you were rolling around. It was the most amazing thing I ever seen. I don't know what, okay, you can maybe explain what unwinding is, but to me, you were just like rolling and releasing. Tears were coming. And I was just sitting in a chair watching like, this is like a wellness seance. And I want to be a part of this.
I am not. Unwinding is something that I'm a little familiar with. It's very cranial sacral-ish, but Dr. G would be able to explain a lot better than me.
Yeah, but what was the response? So
what happened when I was done?
And why did you need it?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. How long ago was that?
So long ago. A couple years.
Probably birth trauma, honestly. Probably birth trauma, trying to move through those emotions, and the fact that Dr. G and Rochelle and I have been friends since we were 4, and we're together a lot. We're still not together a lot, so it was a nice little moment to just be like, "Help me."
You felt safe. I thought it was so bad because you. It was the first time I ever seen somebody like, I'm having an emotion. I need to feel this in this space right here. I don't really care about all this happiness that's happening. It was just very raw, and I just really appreciated it. Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, you're about to be my friend.
And then we made that connection of, okay, where are you from? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm from Wadsworth. I'm from Wadsworth.
I was like, no dice in all the world that we were about to go to New York together. So fast forward to, occasionally I like to take an Airbnb trip. Do you know where I'm going?
Yes.
I like to take an Airbnb trip. And occasionally I put it out there and I'm like, hey, I'm going. And you said, oh, I'll go with you.
I need a break.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So we went and we actually camped in an RV in Tusk County. There's a wonderful human Riverside hideout.
Yeah.
She has 2 of them. So you and I did the RV.
Yes.
But before we got to the RV,
we did a little tour of New Philly.
We did. And you know my favorite story about you and I, our human experience together, is the rock store.
Yep, the crystal store. Where we perused. We went and we perused. And we both, I think I bought some books and, some crystals. And then when you checked out, you got to pick a free crystal.
Free
crystal.
Based on what you are drawn to.
Right. Out of this box of crystals. And they're not big crystals. They were just little.
Do you remember what yours looked like?
Probably, I don't. But it was green, maybe green.
Okay.
But it was just, I did it very intuitively. Oh, that one feels nice, which is
Me too.
Which is, you dug a little bit. You dug real hard.
Okay.
But to find that intuitive crystal.
I did, and intuitively picked up a brown one.
Yeah, it looked like petrified wood.
It
was
did.
really cool looking.
I was vibing. We were taking photos with our crystals, with books that we brought. You and I were just gonna, I don't even know what our intention was. We were just gonna connect.
It was a full moon.
It was a full moon. We were gonna connect. We were just gonna see what happened in this RV.
A rainstorm happened.
A rainstorm. And then my rock started melting.
It was so sticky.
And it got real sticky. And we were sitting outside at the table. And it just melted. And so it turns out that my beautiful rock
Petrified wood.
that I had been putting in the moon, because we put our rocks in the moon
To
and
cleanse
we were
them.
cleansing them, and we had these books that we were taking photos. I think I still have a photo. It was a kid's Tootsie Roll.
So
I smelled it. I think I broke it and smelled it.
I want you to know that I went searching. Those are called snack logs. I did some research on this because I was really trying to find snack logs to bring to you because I was going to somehow put them into your icebreaker thing.
I would have
I lost it. I
died
know.
laughing.
I know. But you can't buy them by themselves, and you have to buy them in this like huge bag of candy, which I don't need.
snack logs.
They're called Tootsie Roll snack logs.
This was an ABC candy.
Yeah.
Oh. Were you going to have your kids chew on it and then stick it in there? 'Cause
No.
I would have really lost my mind.
Henry
I
would
would
have
have loved that.
Henry probably would have been like, no.
Dear Henry.
Dear Henry. But I brought you something instead. So I brought
Oh.
you, they're not Tootsie Rolls. But they're, at least you can put you can eat those and then you can,
Love her.
I know.
Blanche's Southern Charm Mints. Keep your mouth ready for anything.
oh, there's a couple different ones. Well, they all four of them have it.
I'm gonna open them up now while we're talking.
So
While
we can
we'll just add to our
So we
trash
can get the
pile.
jelly
out of our
roll,
mouth. It does. I have a.
jelly strip. Oh, it's not also, it's not for children or elderly people.
It says elderly.
Yes.
It says that on there.
Yeah. It does.
It does not. I'll look later.
You can tell me I'm right.
Take a sip from your mug. We also have these fantastic mugs from Ruby Moon that I'm showcasing. Let's watch this awkwardness. And
I didn't
then-
think about that.
That's okay. And so you have the chance to purchase the mugs that you see, and the one that you have is actually your mug. You purchased the mug.
I did.
Uh-huh.
Because every time, every morning when my kids get out of, on the drop-off line, I distracted.
I know. I was just going to rip the Band-Aid
Tell them
off.
to be a good human, be a nice human, and be a kind friend.
So that one's yours. That's cute. That's a cute pile. And then this one is 330 to go. She bought that one, and it says, you read that while I open this?
A strong woman looks a challenge in the eye and gives it a wink.
A wink.
a
More
good-
wrapping.
Oh gosh, stop!
Oh, okay. These are appropriate. I was like, this is not appropriate.
I would have lost it. What?
Oh, it's a pie. Oh, it's probably cheesecake.
Oh yes, she does love that cheesecake.
Yes, my ladies love. Oh, my Lanta.
I know. I saw that when you sat down.
Did you even know?
That you're obsessed with them? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Me and Jet, we sing the song together. Here, give it a whirl.
Oh, they look like Flintstone gummies.
I thought they were inappropriate, but
It's definitely cheesecake. Mm-hmm. Or also shareable.
okay, that tastes.
What
Sorry,
is that?
Lillian, but that tastes way better than that weird stick thing. You don't like?
No.
Oh, it just.
It's got the consistency of Flintstone gummies.
No, you
Or
know what it
Flintstone-
tastes like? You know those sticks that you lick a stick?
Fun Dips?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right. Anyways, so that was a good time, and I really wanted to document that story of my melted candy. We really got a really good laugh out of that.
That was a lot of fun. We laughed so hard.
We did, because we were really feeling ourselves that day.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so here we are now, and we stayed buddies.
Yeah.
It
Well,
feels-
because you're amazing.
It feels pretty good to be your buddy.
Oh, thanks. I would agree with you too.
You're welcome. You do a lot of really good stuff, and I have back issues, and so you also were a helper. I actually, how do you politely word that I have experienced
Pelvic floor therapy.
pelvic floor therapy? You
Yeah.
just rip the Band-Aid off and say it?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I also laughed while we had that experience. Then I laughed because I was like, okay, well, there's friendship.
Yeah. Right. yeah.
Yeah. So you also taught me, I think about you often. I think about you when I go to leave my house because you're not supposed to just in case pee.
Yep.
I think about you at the Super Bowl. I think about you and all of these things.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Thanks.
I think about you all the time.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love that it's associated with peeing.
And is there anything you want to say about that?
About peeing?
Or
Just in case
the
peeing?
pelvic floor? Yeah. Yeah. My favorite one. Okay. So my two favorite. You also yelled at me about my shoes. If you know me, you know I love a good tom.
It's not the toms. It's the fact that you're just like the toe box is so little. Spread those toes out.
Yeah. And so you made me go home and like do that to my toes.
Yeah.
A lot to help
Do
my
little
back.
yogi toes.
Like the
Ouch.
stretching them out. Were you trying to do
Yes,
it?
I was. Yogi toes.
Yeah, I heard it.
I was showing you.
I heard it. So those are my two favorite things. If you want to talk about
Well, you can't
JICP.
JICP. Don't just in case pee. When you what is just in case pee? So when you go to leave your house, check in with your body, and that's kind of goes back to the nervous system thing too. Mm-hmm. So take a moment, take a breath, and instead of going to the bathroom because you've been conditioned to go to the bathroom since you've been a tiny human.
Your parents say, what when you leave the house?
You gotta go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom. I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
All of the things, right?
Yeah.
But there's a direct connection from your bladder to your brain, and you're born with an invisible line in your bladder that kind of fills up, and when it hits that line, it sends a signal to your brain, and your brain goes, oh, it's time to go to the bathroom. So you go to the bathroom. Well, if it's not time to go to the bathroom, if you haven't filled up your bladder to that line, and you're like, well, I'm going to walk out the door. I don't know when the next bathroom is.
This is the part that I love. Mm-hmm.
And you go to the bathroom, your brain says, whoa, and your bladder says, whoa, we're not ready yet. Mm-hmm. You're like, no, I've got to go, just in case. But then over time, that line gets lower and lower and lower. So you should, barring any medical things, you should be going to the bathroom every 3 to 4 hours.
Not every time you think about going
Correct.
to the bathroom. I know. And so I think about you every time I leave the house and I go, oh, no, you're fine.
You want to know what's really hard is when you have kids and you're trying to break that habit and like trust their little bodies to not, because you don't want accidents, right? Like there's nothing worse than having to clean up a car seat or anything, or stop on the side of the road as soon as you get started. But like you have to trust them, and I call them tiny humans because they are tiny little humans. Like,
Tiny little humans.
Yeah.
Speaking of tiny little humans, we're very similar about our tiny little humans, that we like to keep them as their own individual human the best we can.
Oh God, it's so wonderful.
While navigating their individualism.
So hard. So lovely.
That is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. Especially in this world. Ooh.
Ooh, yes, especially in this world. Or, there are so many things that you're taught and you just naturally carry it over, or you'll catch yourself telling your kid to do something, or you're having a reaction that was a reaction that you had and you didn't like. So it's like this whole...
We've been doing, getting a little sassy as we get older. It's okay. You're allowed.
Tell me ages again.
6 and 4.
Okay.
So there's been some pushback, and there's been some. So when they snap back at me, I'll say to them, "Who are you speaking to?" And then they'll say,
Wait, how do you really say it?
"Who are you speaking to right now?"
Okay. All right.
I try and keep real calm as I'm like doing my thymus thump and like deep breathing and who are you speaking to right now? And sometimes I need to prompt them, and they'll be like, "Mommy." I'm like, "And how do you speak to your mom?" And so their response is kindly and respectfully. And then I'll say, "Would you like to say that again, kindly and respectfully?" And so they'll try and rephrase it. Now,
I'm going to try this on a 10-year-old, and I'm going to get a big, giant eye roll.
I can't wait. Well, here's the thing. It's real great, and then they use it back on you. So the one morning, just
isn't that so wonderful?
Gosh.
Did you go...
Mm-hmm. Henry was screaming. Like, it was a morning. "I'm not going to school." And I'm like, "We're going to school. Like, you need to put your socks on. We need to do things." I was amplified. I was yelling when it got down to it.
Yeah.
And Henry goes, "Mom, you're not speaking to me kindly and respectfully." I'm like, "You are right."
Yeah.
But how, it's like a switch flip for me. Because you're like, "You are right. I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I spoke to you like that.
Yeah, but you're like, I'm so thankful I taught you that so that you can reflect and remind me that so we can all get back on the right cycle we have generated in this home. So mine was when they reflect back to you something that you're trying to teach them. Jet had an experience on the playground, and he wanted to have this very reaction. Like, he wanted to cut the knife deep into this child. And so I had said
Figuratively.
Yes. School, he's a great kid. Everybody loves him. He's tight with the principal. So he wanted to just get this kid back viciously. And I was like, well, you know what? Because I was very, like, I will get you immediately kind of person, and I will get my whole tribe. And I had said to him, why don't we sleep on that
Oh, I love that.
feeling? Because what you're feeling right now is 10 levels ahead where you're going to feel in the morning. So I'm taking a shower, and he comes in, and he's brushing his teeth. He's doing his thing. And I said, so, hey, where are you sitting at with the interaction with your buddy, with your friend? And he goes, I'm glad I slept on it.
Oh.
I'm just going to let it go. And I went, yes.
In the shower, you're like, I'm like amazing.
Yay, Mom,
so great.
Yeah, I'm such a good human mom.
We did it. We navigated this one.
Yeah. Oh, but kids are,
Amazing.
they are awesome. And it is really hard to be like that sort of parent. I feel like people don't have a lot of those conversations. I get a lot of, you're really great, you're really awesome. But I think at the heart of it, what they're seeing is me trying to let him find his own human in a really safe way.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Henry wore shirt today backwards because he's like, this is the right way. I'm like,
Did you let it happen?
yeah, I did. I did. I mean, so I put it on the right. That's not the way I'm supposed to go. I'm like, okay, well, that's the back. No, it's not. So I'm like, fine, that's fine.
If that's what you want to be today, goodbye.
I had him. I'm like, can you look at your shirt to see? And he pulls it out. And he goes, I'm still leaving it. I'm like, that's all right.
So when he's 10 and he's doing the same thing, but now he's 10 and he's a little bit older, you're going to look back on that 4-year-old Henry and be like, oh, that was always you.
Yeah,
That was always you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Against the grain a little bit. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and how's the 6-year-old?
Oh,
As a
she's sweet as pie. We're learning how to crochet.
You know, Jet just told me he gets very intense about a thing. So not to cut your story off,
No, you're
but
not cutting off.
he learned how to weave with paper.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
That's great. And we're really into like survival shows, and Extracted is a new show, and he is really fixated on, he wants to own a bear blanket, a real one.
Ooh.
And I said, well, Mommy has a problem with that. And he said, well, what about a fake one? And I said, well. And so then that went to last night, and we're watching Extracted, and it's a great show for families and conversation. He wants to make a blanket.
Cool.
I
Like
said-
weaving one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you have 40 of them right here. Do you know how much it costs to, why don't you go get the pipe cleaners and practice? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, if you want to go get the pipe cleaners. So anyways, sorry. You're
No,
learning.
go get them. They have fat yarn.
I'm sending him to your house.
fine.
Congratulations.
It's fine. Jocelyn likes to wake me up at 6:45 in the morning to crochet. So
Oh, she needs a mint. We're going to call her Blanche.
Blanche, go back to bed.
That Southern Belle.
We call her Sprout.
Sprout.
Yeah. So we didn't know what she was going to be because we didn't find out. And so
Ooh,
with my last name, with it being Russell, we switched it to instead of calling her Baby, we called her Brussels Sprout, and then
Of course you did.
so she's Russell Sprout.
Oh. Is she ever going to outgrow that?
No,
Okay.
no. Poor Henry was Elvira, so
That was his nickname?
it was he made me sick every day.
You called him that?
I didn't call him that to his face.
You just publicly put that on the internet.
I sure
for His
did.
whole life.
I'm sorry, Henry.
I'm going to be pulling that at his 18th graduation party.
sorry, Henry.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
boy.
Kids.
Man,
Kids.
crack you open in ways that you didn't expect, and then you put yourself back together like those beautiful Japanese faces.
Literally. And that's the whole reason behind your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started my business because I couldn't walk up the stairs. I felt like I was being ripped into two.
I feel like I learned more about you than I had in a long time. I know you've told me the story before, but when you were at Wadsworth Chamber,
Yeah.
and you did the talk, I was all in. I know I heard the story before, but I don't know, it just hit me different that day.
Yeah, I was like, Curtis was going back to work. I needed and I was navigating stairs, and it literally felt like I was being ripped apart. I'm like, well, I did some research, found out I needed pelvic floor therapy. I ended up at a pelvic floor therapy place, doing the things, and as I was laying there, I thought, can OTs do this? Can occupational therapists do this? Yes, like it's all the things we use, bowel, bladder,
Yeah.
And so I started researching on how can I do this, and it was a couple courses. So I didn't need to go back and do any more schooling, but like continuing education stuff. So then I said to Curtis, I said, hey, I got an idea.
I said the same thing to my husband.
I said, I got an idea. And he's been so supportive. In fact, I didn't say this, but he was so supportive that I've been trying, I wanted Rooted in my business. And the reason why I wanted Rooted is because, like, not only, you have to be rooted in your body and yourself. And I'm a firm believer that pelvic floor therapy and your nervous system, your brain, it's not just a body physical thing. It is a emotional, it is a spiritual, it is all of the things.
And you walk that.
Yes.
You give a hug that way.
Oh, thanks.
You talk to people that way.
Thank you.
So
That's
you're like
probably
a
the best.
safe. Is it? You love that? I mean
Thank
it.
you.
Even when you hug, I'm like, I'm gonna just hug her a little longer.
That's okay.
'Cause
I'll never
she
break a
hugs
hug.
softer and just calmer, and yeah.
I'll never break a hug.
So that is your vibe, just so you know.
Oh, good. That's
Okay.
exactly what the vibe I'm going for. So we were kicking around a whole bunch of, and I remember specifically, I'm texting him, I'm on Instagram and trying to find websites, and not that any of that really mattered, but Ohio business stuff, and he's at work, and I'm texting him, and I'm sure he was loving that.
They always do.
And we settled on Rooted Pelvic Wellness, and I didn't do anything with it. I just sat with it, and then I went to do whatever you need to do on Ohio business.
That whole thing.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
And it was taken.
No.
It was taken.
I didn't know this story.
And I was devastated. I was devastated.
What'd you do? Pay them off? How'd you get it?
My husband did it for me.
What do you
That
do?
night- that
flowers.
I know.
Husband flowers.
That night that we had decided on that name, he got on that business website, did all of this stuff for me, and then he was going to give it to me for Christmas because the business start date is 12/1.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, 12/1.
12/1. I don't know. We remember what year it was. 2020. Henry's, 2022, I think. 2021.
Is that when we met?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Honest to God, Jenny, it feels like you and I have been friends for lifetimes that I don't even remember our true start date because it's the
candy. It's the melted rock.
It's
that solidified
it.
Yeah, it does really feel like it was instant, even in the house at the retreat. I was like,
You know when you know.
Yeah.
You just vibe with
There's
someone.
a lot of you in the town that I'm like,
Yeah.
she would have been my tribe when I was in school. I feel like my whole upbringing would have been different if I had found the tribe that I have now when I was, no shade to anybody that was my friend. All right.
Do you ever think, though, like,
Yeah.
if they were your tribe, like, would they still be your tribe? I mean, same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, you go through...
You're right. So I take that back because if I wouldn't have went through all that, I wouldn't be here. And I think all the people that I found in Wadsworth in this place, I tell them all the time.
Right.
Oh, man, my woo-woo people. Yeah. I need you. I need you people. I needed you a long time ago to teach me and tell me that that's what was happening to me, that your system is overloaded. It's okay.
It's okay to take a break.
To go outside and stand in the snow, to
1,000%.
stand in the sun without your shoes, with your shoes,
Yeah.
with your Toms that Rachel doesn't like.
It's not that I have Well, I don't have Toms anymore.
I know.
All my shoes anymore are
The what kind? Tell me.
barefoot.
Yeah.
I'm a big barefoot fan.
Yeah. I know.
But you can't get. I mean, then I look like a real grandma because they're all. Not that there's anything wrong. I mean, I got my sweat. I got a vibe going anyway. But trying to find cute
I have
shoes.
Golden Girls on, and I watch them. I watch them to go to bed.
That's awesome.
I look like a Golden Girl. Yeah. That was really nice of your husband to go back, not to skip over the flowers that were given to hubby.
Yeah.
Did he message them? You said he was doing research.
On what? The business stuff?
To get that name.
No, he had already, like, it wasn't taken.
He
filled out all my forms for me that night.
He did it.
He did it.
Not a she, but he.
He did it
That's
for
like
me.
the ultimate gift.
It was
wow. He
yeah,
loves
so
you.
he's been so supportive
Curtis
in all of
loves
this.
you.
He does love me.
What?
I know. He puts up with a lot.
That was so nice of him. Oh man. Okay. Sorry. We like went around a whole thing and talked about. So then
Always came back.
he was going to tell you for Christmas.
Yeah.
And
And then
he
I
did-
was sobbing.
Oh.
I'm like, I can't. And he, God bless my husband. He's like, did you not like go further? I was like, it's already taken. He's like, it's all. Yeah, we took it.
Yeah.
we got it. We got it, babe. So
Oh, that's a really great way to start a business.
it was awesome.
That you know that he is also rooted. Ooh, see what I did there? He is also rooted in your business and rooted in your name.
Everything comes back to Rooted. I mean, honestly, and even I feel like what I do. I mean, I do pelvic floor therapy, but most of my clientele are women, and they come to me. I mean, there's a lot of nervous system stuff. It's not
Yeah.
even pelvic floor stuff. Some of the times, and some of the times it's just like I didn't even know that this was an issue.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate when I met you that you had that. You were having that. I can see you. You were sitting on the couch. I don't know how your posture was. All these
probably-
women were sitting on the floor.
Always cross-legged.
Yes, all these women were sitting on the floor, and I think of you often when I feel agitated, and I actually stop, and I'm like, "What's happening around you?" Mm-hmm. Because you talk about it's not just auditory; there's other things.
Yeah.
That you need to take a break from.
Yeah, you've got your 5 normal senses. You've got sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
But you've also got 3 others.
Right.
You've got proprioception, so where your body is in space.
Don't ask me to spell that. Okay.
Proprioception. You've got vestibular, so like in motion, and then you've got interoception, and that's a sense that we're just learning more about, but we're not even really it's what happens to you inside. So I always give the example of, you're driving down the street and all of a sudden a cop pulls out behind you and turns on his lights and sirens.
Sweating.
Right, you're sweating.
I'm already sweating.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm making up excuses.
this is not, yeah, right.
What's your go-to cop excuse?
I don't, it's been a long time since I've been.
I'm sorry. Who are you? I don't know
My
what I would say.
husband's a fireman.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's what I would do. I would just glitch
I'm
out.
sorry, you're probably right.
I think I had a ticket one time when I was 18, so I would full on glitch out.
We have no wood to knock on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
sure that sounds great. Thanks,
Yeah, right.
Aiden. Sorry.
Whoops-a-dozy.
Yeah.
But that feeling that you have, and then the cop pulls by you, it's not you, and you relax, that's interoception. That's your body. And so it's keeping you safe, if you will. So just paying attention to, like, what is going on. So you need to be able to kind of calm your body down. Auditory-wise, I put headphones on at, like, 5 p.m. to just calm my body. I have an ice roller in my freezer. Don't give that to a tiny human who's angry. You'll end up with 3 of them broken.
Or a knot on your head.
Yeah, a knot on your head.
Yeah, so I appreciate because every time, well, not every time, it happens a lot less frequently now because oh man, I am overstimulated.
Well,
AF.
yeah.
The TV's on. The kid is playing a video game at the same time as the TV. The dog is barking. Mm. And so now I could be like,
well, you're noticing it earlier. You're not redlining it.
yeah, before I'm across the line and my head's about to pop off my body.
Correct.
And I
So you're
snap
able
at
to
everybody.
regulate yourself. Yeah. So
And then-
kudos to you. 'cause
Yeah,
that's-
and then it's like, okay, everyone, how can we all bring it down?
Oh, that's when I turn the YouTube channels on with like the calming music
yes.
with the aquarium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we color. We do a lot of coloring in our house.
When I put that stuff on, this is garbage. Trash. I'm like, you know what? When you're 20, you're going to thank me when you wake up and you chill out.
Right.
Light your incense. Well, Well, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
It's not my fault we have to end, but it is my fault that we have to end this.
It's time already. This is impressive.
Yeah, isn't that? That flies by. Okay, so now is your chance. So we're wrapping up the podcast for you to look at all of the cameras. Pick one, whichever one you want, and let the people in the community know what you have going on right now.
All right, so we know that I own Rooted Pelvic Wellness, right? You're so smiling now. So I'm located in town. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can reach out on my
Did you just glitch out?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
go. You got this.
I'm like, I don't know what to say. It's that 30-second elevator speech that I'm not very good at.
I know.
I'm getting better at. I'm a 30-second elevator speech. I'm getting better. Find me on Instagram. Find me in the community. Come and talk to me. I have no problem talking about anything. You can try and take me off my rocker.
And if you take anything away from this, don't just in case pee.
No just in case peeing. Get your feet on the ground without socks and shoes on. Go ground.
Don't take the brown gem out of the box.
No, it's not petrified wood.
It's not petrified wood.
It's not petrified wood.
And regulate your senses.
Yeah. Don't ask your kids to just in case pee all the time.
Yeah. Thanks for being my friend.
Oh, thanks for being my friend.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.